This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Tonight is June 24th, 2020, and my name is Suzanne Cahill. We are beginning the City of Kingston's Heritage Area Commission monthly meeting for June. I am the planning director, and I will be the organizer for tonight's virtual meeting. Before we begin, I just want to go over a few guidelines that will help everyone navigate the system efficiently and respectfully as possible. We ask that members of the public and press remain muted and off camera for the length of the meeting. As the organizer, I reserve the right to mute anyone who unmutes themselves. Commission members and city staff will control their own mute button. Good practice, however, would be to mute yourself if you are not speaking to avoid background noise and feedback. If a commissioner or staff wishes to speak, they will raise their hands. The chairperson will call on them before they speak by stating their name clearly for our audio listeners and transcript recording. All of our meetings are recorded. Both video and written transcriptions will be made available to the public on the city's website at a later date. There is no public speaking during the monthly meetings, which are held virtually, and comments were requested from the public to be received by 2 p.m. on Monday, June 22nd, 2020. At this point, no comments have been received. All the meeting materials, applications, and supporting documentation, written comments, all may be found on the city website by going to www.kingston-ny.gov. On the home page, scroll down to the bottom, and under meetings where you see Heritage Area Commission listed, click the link for agenda and you will find universal hyperlinks for all the information. If at any time you have an audio issue, please send a text message to the following number, 845-443-0416. I will repeat this number again, but be aware that phone calls will not be answered during the meeting. The number again to text is 845-443-0416. As the organizer for today's meeting, I reserve the right to lock and pause the meeting to eject anyone who has behaved inappropriately or to enter into an attorney-client conference if needed. The commission wishes to thank everyone for their continued patience during these unique times, and on their behalf, I wish you and your family good health. I now will turn the floor over to Chairman Hayes Clement to call the meeting to order. Hayes?
Thank you, Sue. Having a quorum and it being 6:42, I'm going to call the June 2020 meeting of the City of Kingston Heritage Area Commission to order. First, we're going to have a roll call to check attendance. And as always, on every vote tonight, I will be doing a roll call to record your votes. If you want to make a comment or before you make a vote, please state your name. All right, roll call. I'm Hayes Clement. I'm the chairman. I'm here. Dean Barnes. You want to say here?
Dean, you need to unmute.
I'm here.
Abigail Robin.
Here.
Bonnie Howland.
Here.
Michael Del Priore.
Here.
Kevin McAvoy.
Here.
And I'll note that Bernie Matthews is absent. As Sue said, there are no written comments in, so there is no public comment. So the first order of business will be the adoption of the minutes of our April 29th, 2020 meeting. Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes?
Yes.
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 Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes of April 29th, 2020?
So moved.
Who's that, Michael?
Dean.
Dean
Moved
Barnes.
by
I'll second it.
Michael Del Priore seconds. Motion on the floor. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Roll call vote.
Well, let's say aye, and then I'll do the roll call.
Aye.
Aye. All right. So the roll call. Hey, I'm Hayes Clement. I vote aye. Dean Barnes,
Aye.
Abigail Robin,
Aye.
Bonnie Howland,
Aye.
Michael Del Priore,
Aye.
Kevin McAvoy.
Aye.
The ayes have it. New business. First item on the agenda is signage request for Gary DeMauro Real Estate at 89 Broadway. Timely Signs is the applicant. Allie Hammond is the owner of the building. Tyson, are you here?
I am here.
Tyson is Clint Hayes.
Do you want to just tell us what the proposal is, Tyson?
Yes, my name is Tyson McCaslin from Timely Signs on behalf of Gary DeMauro Real Estate. They have a double-sided hanging sign, 24-inch by 24-inch, hanging on an existing bracket, and it's going to be hung at 96 inches to the bottom of the sign from the sidewalk. And we have already submitted the insurance stating the City of Kingston is additionally insured for this sign.
Has everyone had a chance to review the design? Sue and Julie, does it meet city code?
Yes, it does, Hayes. This is Sue.
Anybody have any comments,
Yeah,
questions
sorry.
for Tyson? Do I hear a motion to approve, to declare this a type 2 action under seeker?
So moved.
Dean, is there a second?
Bonnie, second.
Motion on the floor. Is there any debate? All in favor of declaring this a type 2 action under seeker? I'm going to say aye.
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 And now I'll do a roll call. Hayes Clement, I vote aye. Dean Barnes,
Aye.
Abigail Robin,
Aye.
Bonnie Howland,
Aye.
Michael Del Priore,
Aye.
Kevin McAvoy. Kevin,
You're muted. He says aye. Hayes?
Hope he's not stuck like that.
Yeah.
are you here?
Hayes, can you hear us?
Yeah, my power went out briefly.
Okay.
All right, so we have passed the declaration that this is a type 2 action under seeker. Do I hear a motion to approve the signage design as proposed for 89 Broadway, as long as it names the city as additionally insured?
Motion?
I'm sorry. Well, something's wrong now.
Okay.
Motion by Kevin.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm having problems now. Motion by Kevin. Do I hear a second?
I'll
Second.
second. Many seconds.
Second by who?
Dean.
Michael Del Priore.
Sure.
I'll call for the vote. I'm Hayes Clement. I vote aye. Dean Barnes.
Aye.
Dean Barnes.
Aye.
Abigail Robin.
Aye.
Bonnie Howland. Bonnie.
I think Bonnie got knocked off too.
Yeah.
She disappeared from my screen. Yeah. Hmm.
All right, so let's see if Bonnie comes back on. Michael Del Priore
Aye.
and Kevin McAvoy.
Aye.
Let's just Let's just pause and see if Bonnie can get back on in the next couple of minutes. Does Bonnie live uptown? I live uptown, and it felt like the
You
power
don't.
went off. I think it may have
Yeah.
been a neighborhood thing.
I think this is her. Bonnie? Oh, hi. Keith? Yeah, I got your text. I'm gonna send you a connection again. Try again, okay? There's power issues going on in Kingston, so I guess there's some issues, but I'll send it again to you right now, okay? Yeah. Yes. Yep, bye. Bonnie,
Can
is
you
that you?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry. I lost power. It's coming back on, and then the router shut right off. I'm sincerely sorry. I'm trying to get back in right now.
No, I don't know if you can see me, but I can't. I can't see anybody.
I'm coming back. Hold on. I'll be right there. It's letting me in right now. There
Can
we
you
go.
guys still see me?
No, but we can hear you.
So can we do it if I can't be seen? I can just do it verbally?
Yes.
All right, so Bonnie, there's a motion on the floor to approve the signage for 89 Broadway as proposed. How do you vote?
Sorry about that. This is Bonnie. I vote aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you, Tyson.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.
All right, looks like we're back
Okay.
to. All right, next item on the agenda is 160 Broadway, that's St. Mary's Church, retaining wall replacement and reconstruction with sienna stone or approved equivalent to be faced with brick. St. Mary's Roman Catholic Church applicant, Reverend William Scafidi, owner. Reverend Scafidi, are you here? Or
No,
is
I
Julie
was
gonna?
just on, Hayes, this is Sue. I was just on the phone with Keith and I'm resending him the sign-in. He's having a problem as well. So if we can move to the next one and then come back to him.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is 159 Broadway, Kingston Catholic School, a replacement of a standing seam roof and the removal and reconstruction of brick and cast stone masonry roof parapet walls to top of cornice. Crow International Incorporated applicant, and again, Father Scafidi, owner.
Hello.
Father, are you here to present your proposal?
No.
Okay.
Hayes, this is Sue. No, the contractor is here.
Okay. And if you could introduce yourself by name?
Hi, my name's Sinise Habuk from Crow International Incorporated, representing Father Scafidi for the 159 Broadway roof replacement and masonry work. We also already submitted to the city of Kingston, or the township of Kingston, are insured and additionally insured as well for the project. If you'd like, I can just get started with what the proposal is.
Sure. Perfect.
So work is to remove the existing roof, not the slate roof, the standing seam one, and to replace with TPO with it's like a faux seam. It'll match the existing look, but it's cheaper cost for Father. And the existing masonry wall will just be rebuilt in kind. Keith is actually the project manager for this one as well, if he can get connected.
I am
So-
connected.
So it's standing, I'm sorry, so it's standing seam metal replacing what material?
It's a TPO. It's like a flat roof membrane, and it'll go over, and then there'll be ribs that are hot seam welded on. So at the end of it, it'll look just like a standing seam roof, but it's a different style of roofing.
But the slate portion of the roof will still be there.
Yeah, we're not touching that. We're not touching that building. Everything's on the main building on the corner. It's
Okay.
the standing seam section and the section behind the parapet to get replaced.
Anyone have any questions on this or issues?
Hayes, this is Sue. Keith is now on with us. He's joined the meeting. Keith Sita. Do you want to introduce yourself, Keith?
Yes, hi, my name is Keith. I'm with Aramark Engineering and Asset Solutions, and we manage most of the properties for the Archdiocese of New York and all of these kinds of projects for facilities.
Keith, this is Sue again. We are looking at 159 Broadway right now because you weren't on, so we're going to go back to 160 Broadway, but we're working on the roof replacement right now.
Yep.
Do you have anything to add to that?
I don't think so, Sue. From what I heard just now as I got on, it seemed like the answers were similar to what I would have said at the time with regard to the TPO and the matching of the seam look that we're trying to achieve with the standing seam metal roof that exists. Yeah.
Is there going to be any difference in appearance for somebody looking at this from the front, from a sidewalk?
I don't expect so, and I don't know if the architect he might be trying to get through, but no, there should be no outward appearance of any changes from the sidewalk below at any vantage point, either from going east or going west on not Broadway. It is Broadway. Yes, it is Broadway. Yep.
And the parapet is going to be, repaired or replaced in the same fashion it appears now?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Okay, so there's not going to be any visual difference in that?
No.
Okay. Anybody have any issues or questions for Keith? No issues? And Sue, the professional staff is satisfied with this?
Yes.
Do I hear a motion to declare this a type 2 action under seeker?
So moved.
Michael, was that you, Michael?
Dean.
It was Dean Barnes. Hey,
Dean Barr makes a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second Dean.
Michael Del Priore,
Mike,
second. Any debate on declaring this a type 2 action under seeker? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. I'm Hayes Clement. I vote aye. Dean Barnes,
Aye.
Abigail Robin,
Yes.
Bonnie Howland,
Aye.
Michael Del Priore,
Aye.
Kevin McAvoy.
Aye.
Do I hear a motion to approve the roof replacement and parapet reconstruction of 159 Broadway as proposed tonight?
This is Bonnie. I'll make the motion.
Motion by Bonnie. Do I hear a second?
Second?
Michael Del Priore seconds. There's a motion on the floor. Is there any debate? Hearing none, I will call for the vote. I'm Hayes Clement. I vote aye. Dean Barnes,
Aye.
Abigail Robin,
Aye.
Bonnie Howland,
Aye.
Michael Del Priore,
Aye.
Kevin McAvoy.
Aye.
Going back to the prior order of business that we skipped over is 160 Broadway. That's the retaining wall replacement and reconstruction with Sienna stone or approved equivalent to be faced with brick at St. Mary's Roman Catholic Church. Gentlemen, do you want to explain that to us?
Certainly. And happy to do so. I was unable to get the engineer involved directly, but I do bring your attentions to the drawings that I had submitted, and I am actually reviewing. I'm opening it up myself. Just bear with me a moment.
Sure, no problem.
Okay, so I bring the committee's attention to drawing. If the committee has the drawings with them, I would bring their attention to drawing S001. And that would be the title sheet for the project, which demonstrates in elevation and overhead, if you will, of the topography and how the wall will be constructed from the northern street, eastern street, and northern above views. The intent here is, as you may already have surmised, to control the elevation and the extreme, if you will, change in elevation from the current datum point being the sidewalk around the church as it goes down to the street level. Okay. So as indicated by the chair, it is also understood that this is a modular block, which is multi-tiered, as indicated on drawings S101 and S102, with the idea of the final appearance to have a brick veneer at the street level where the stairs coincide with the sidewalk, or come into the sidewalk, if you will.
A brick veneer on the stairs or a brick veneer on the retaining wall?
The retaining wall will be the modular until it comes down to the street level, and then at the street level, that sienna stone at the street level will have brick veneer in addition to the staircase that exits on to the right. Right now, presently, the staircase that project was abandoned previously. The structural engineer had indicated that they were not happy with the construction methods and means. So this is our alternative to completing that. And at this point, the project only entails looking at it straight on from the center door, or essentially that staircase to the right of the center door of the church.
Okay. I like the redesign of it. I think it's a vast improvement. The broader, more easily graded or more gently graded stairs for sure. Anybody have any questions for Keith?
This is Bonnie. I had the same comment as Hayes. I really like the way the redesign looks. Just to make that on record, I like it a lot.
It was so forbidding before with that huge retaining wall at that point.
Yeah,
Can I just mention that if it's possible to use the existing bricks that are on site and the existing end caps, that's what we would prefer.
That is our preference. Is it Bonnie? I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear it exactly.
This is Julie Edelson Stafford. I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yes, Julie. No, you're exactly right. And actually, in conversations with the contractor, a lot of that brick, if not all of that brick, will be utilized as much as possible, and including the capping stone that was recovered. As I mentioned, the previous contractor was terminated for lack of conformance with means and methods. So all of the materials that remain on site are at our disposal to be reused.
So what portion of the whole thing will be reused brick and what will be new, Keith, would you estimate?
I would say 75 to 25% at this point. I'm not overly optimistic that we have enough brick to do the entire veneer, but I'm hopeful. And I believe that it's probably in the best interest of everybody for the future, because the Archdiocese intention is to redo the remaining balance of this wall going back towards the east. I'm sorry, going to the west up to the corner of our property. We really want to rehabilitate that wall, because we're seeing, obviously this is historic almost to the nature of the Civil War, if not thereabouts. And we're seeing a severe decay as time rolls on here. So we want to do the rest of this project. We just can't predict when we'll have approval from the Archdiocese to do that. So we're going to keep the spirit of the brick and the look that we're trying to achieve.
Julie, are you satisfied?
Yes, I am.
Sue, do you have an opinion too?
No, I think that's great. I think it's wonderful that they're making the extra effort to reuse the existing materials to match.
Anybody have any other points to make or questions to ask of the applicants? Okay, hearing none. Do I hear a motion to declare this a type 2 action under seeker?
This is Bonnie. I make the motion.
Bonnie, do I hear a second?
Second, Dean Barnes.
There's a motion on the floor to declare this a type 2 action under seeker. Is there any debate on that? Hearing none, I will call for the vote. I am Hayes Clement. I vote aye. Dean Barnes.
Aye.
Abigail Robin.
Aye.
Bonnie Howland.
Aye.
Michael Del Priore.
Aye.
Kevin McAvoy. Can you demute yourself, Kevin?
Aye.
Thank you.
Yeah. Aye.
The ayes have it. Do I hear a motion to approve the retaining wall and reconstruction project at 160 Broadway as proposed, using as many of the existing bricks and capstones as possible? Do I hear a motion to approve that?
I make a motion.
Michael Del Priore.
Yeah.
Do I hear a second?
Second, Dean Barnes.
Dean Barnes, second. There's a motion on the floor. Is there any debate? Hearing none, I will call for the vote. I'm Hayes Clement. I vote aye. Dean Barnes.
Aye.
Abigail Robin.
Aye.
Bonnie Howland.
Aye.
Michael Del Priore.
Aye.
Kevin McAvoy.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you, Keith. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, board members. I appreciate your attention. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too.
You too.
Next item on the agenda is 624 Broadway, signage for a hair salon and training center. Yanika Yeno, applicant, Yeon Inc. owner. Is somebody here to present that?
Yes. Hayes, Yanni is here.
Hi,
You
I'm
wanna
here.
introduce yourself?
I'm Yanika Yeno. I'm Yanni, owner of AB Hair Salon and Training Center. I'm here to propose a sign.
Okay. Tell us a little about what you plan, Yanni.
One single-sided 25-inch by 17 by 1/4 panel facing digitally printed with matte over laminate wall sign, and one single-sided 16-inch by 16-inch by 1/4 digitally printed overhanging blade style sign with matte over laminated mounting to a 2-inch square arm bracket, 107 inches from the ground. And Timely Signs is doing that.
Is it in the, is it on the website with the other applications, Sue?
Yes, it is.
Hold on, let me just. And and the address is 1.
624 Broadway.
Okay, got it. Yeah, that looks nice. Are there any questions or comments for Yanni?
Nope, very nice.
Thank you.
Well done.
Any other questions? Okay. Do I hear a motion to declare this a type 2 action under seeker?
So moved, Dean Barnes.
Motion by Dean. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Michael Del Priore seconds. Any debate? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote to declare this a type 2 action under seeker. I'm Hayes Clement. I vote aye. Dean Barnes,
Aye.
Abigail Robin,
Aye.
Bonnie Howland,
Aye.
Michael Del Priore,
Aye.
Kevin McAvoy. Kevin,
Aye.
do I hear a motion? Hold
Am I
on.
muted? Oh, no, aye.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to approve the signage as proposed by Yanika Yano for 624 Broadway, naming the city as additionally insured?
Bonnie Howland, I make a motion.
Bonnie Howland moves. Kevin
I'll second.
McAvoy seconds. Any further debate on the motion on the floor? Hearing none, I will call for the vote. I'm Hayes Clement. I vote aye. Dean Barnes,
Aye.
Abigail Robin,
Aye.
Bonnie Howland,
Aye.
Michael Del Priore,
Aye.
Kevin McAvoy. Can't hear you, Kevin. Kevin, can you demute?
Aye.
Yeah.
Thank you. The ayes have it. Yanni, thank you.
Aye.
Thank
Great.
you, guys. You guys have a
No,
good
Thank
night.
you.
Not muted.
Good luck.
All right, next items are discussion items. One is an amendment to the city code dealing with the composition and terms of office of commissioners on the Heritage Area Commission. Do you want to take us through that, Sue?
Sure. Everyone should have received, we had discussed this a couple of months ago at one of our commission meetings. And we talked about, the discussion was to reduce the number of commission members because it is an overwhelming number at 11. And we wanted to reduce that number down. So we came up with the makeup that we would have 7 regular members, and we would also have 2 alternate members. The alternates would be required to come to all the meetings, but would only vote in the case of an absentee member. So this was one of the changes which we had made. And we also recognized that there were multiple representatives that are appointed as advisory roles. And we didn't feel that they were necessary to be listed in the actual city charter and code. Certainly, we would refer to any comment that they make, and they will continue to get the agendas. But we would be removing a representative from the planning office, since we are already here. We manage and administer the board or the commission. The Kingston Building Department would be removed. The Zoning Board of Appeals would be removed. Ulster Performing Arts Center would be removed. The Senate House would be removed, and the Landmarks Preservation Commission member and the Trolley Museum would be removed. And then we would add in the terminology that all members of the commission will serve without pay. So those are, in a nutshell, the the changes that we made. We did keep the city historian on as a non-voting advisory member as well in perpetuity. And everyone that's non-voting will serve as the pleasure of the mayor.
What were the changes to the terms of office?
Changes stayed the same, 3 years.
Okay. Do you need us to vote on endorsing this again, or?
Yes, so what I would just like, I had written the letter and submitted it to council for consideration. The council president contacted me and asked if the commission would just endorse this formally before it goes through the process to committee and then back to council for a final vote.
I thought we endorsed it last time. No?
What you did, it wasn't a formal endorsement. You asked me to write it up. So
Do I hear, well, first off, is there any discussion of this? Anybody have a strong point of view on it? I think it's a good thing.
I thought I heard you say that it was, aren't we, I thought I heard you say that it was going to be 7 regular members, but we're changing it.
correct. Well, it is 7 regular members, and then there would be 2 alternates. So the voting number of members would be 7. So a majority of members would be 4. The 2 alternates would be, just as in any other commission or board, they would be individuals that join into all the meetings, participate in all the discussions. They just would not be voting if we have a full quorum of members.
Okay.
My only concern is, and I know you say it works with the planning board, is how are we going to get somebody to come to one of these meetings every month, an alternate, if they can't typically even vote? Or do you think an alternate will be voting pretty much every time?
They do. I mean, just, like this evening, say, if Bernie were here now and Bernie is not here, or if Bonnie or you, Hayes, could not make it, the alternate would sit in your place. And that's why they are requested to attend and join in all of the meetings, so that if a project application continues beyond 1 month, they would be up to speed and know, what prior discussions and have taken place.
And the alternates, are there any other boards that have alternates besides planning?
Yes, the zoning board has, ZBA has alternates as well.
And they show up typically?
Yes, they do.
Any other points to make? Any other questions on this? Dean?
I presume the alternates, while they can't vote, can be part of the conversation and comments.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, we encourage them to participate in the discussion and ask questions. We would ask them to go to any site inspections or site visits that are arranged for the commission as well. And it seems to have worked extremely well for those boards that I'm working with. And typically another point is that when a vacancy opens up from a regular member on the commission, the alternates are looked at first in terms of moving them into a full membership position.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other comments? Any other questions? Anybody disagree with this? Do I hear a motion to endorse the amendment of, what is it, section 22-20 of the city code detailing the composition and terms of office of the Heritage Area Commission as presented, namely reducing the membership to 7 voting and 2 alternate members, and removing as specified consultants the positions Sue described. Motion by Michael Del Priore. Do I hear a second?
Abigail Robin.
Abigail Robin seconds.
Yeah.
Any debate on this? There's a motion on the floor. Hearing none, I will call for the vote. I'm Hayes Clement. I vote aye. Dean Barnes,
Aye.
Abigail Robin,
Aye.
Bonnie Howland,
Aye.
Michael Del Priore,
Aye.
Kevin McAvoy.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Next order of business, the Common Council is requesting feedback and/or comment from all involved and interested agencies before it makes a final determination of environmental significance of the completed City of Kingston Open Space Plan. Sue, do you want to take us through that?
Sure. Everyone has hopefully had an opportunity to read the materials that have been circulated to the commission. I know that Kevin was one of the representatives from the Conservation Advisory Council that assisted in drafting the open space plan for the city. So he has the broadest sense of knowledge on the commission if you have specific questions. The information that was submitted also included the environmental review documents for the full environmental assessment form, parts 1, 2, and 3, which had been completed by the CAC on behalf of the Common Council, who is acting as lead agency. At staff level, we have reviewed these for all of the boards and commissions that we oversee and found no issues with them, and that there was no supplementary information required to be submitted for the council to pursue and go forward with the decision that there is a negative declaration of environmental significance. And so that's what we have been asking our commissions to do. That would be the first item, to make that recommendation that you see no issues with respect to the areas that the Heritage Area Commission covers and the reviews that you undertake. So that would be the first issue. The second would be in reviewing the open space management plan itself, if you saw any concerns or discrepancies, or if you feel that it needs any additional documents to supplement it. We have not seen any that we could find. Kevin did a very thorough job, including all of the reports and documents that the city has been generating over the course of several years. So they are all mentioned and included in that. And I didn't find anything that would be in difference to what the Heritage Commission reviews and what their job is in reviews.
Kevin, do you feel like there's anything in there that the Heritage Area Commission should pay special attention to? Or there conflicts in any way with our mission?
No, there was no conflict. I think we discussed that with Dan Gartenstein at the HLPC, where I had, thought, because I'm a CAC member and I was involved in drafting it, should I, step back or something? But he indicated no. So there's we discussed no conflict at that time, and no conflict has come up any further. I was further advised by Julie Noble today at the climate meeting just prior to this meeting that I believe it had been passed by laws and rules, and it's going to go to the full council.
I mean, Kevin, is your goal here, or would you, as somebody involved in this, would you like to see us formally endorse it?
That's a commission decision. Yeah, if you want to, yes, sure. If you want to make no comment, that's the option of the commissioners as well. I don't want to lead the commission in any particular way. Yeah.
Sue, what do you think the council's looking for? Is no comment fine, or would they rather have something more affirmative?
No comment would be acceptable, but I believe, the commission has had, a certain amount of time. I think that, it would be a positive thing to go on record and make a comment that you have reviewed it. You've received all the materials, you've reviewed all the materials, and that you would recommend that, they move forward with a negative declaration of environmental significance.
And that can just be a letter from us to the council.
Yes.
Do we need to vote on that?
Yes, if you want the letter to be written, you would have that consensus.
Anybody have an issue with doing that? Do I hear a motion to endorse with a recommendation for a finding of negative finding of environmental significance, the City of Kingston Open Space Plan?
Motion, Abigail.
Motion by Abigail. Do I hear a second? I'm sorry, do I hear a second?
Dean Barnes, seconds.
Dean Barnes, second. Any debate on the motion on the floor? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Hayes Clement. My vote is aye. Dean Barnes.
Aye.
Abigail Robin.
Aye.
Bonnie Howland.
Aye.
Michael Del Priore.
Aye.
Kevin McAvoy.
Aye.
So Sue, if you could just draft that, and you have permission to sign my name on it.
Thank you.
Any other items any commissioner wants to discuss?
I just want to point out that I think Paul Checo is here. I believe he's the architect for 160 Broadway. We already reviewed that property. I'm sorry.
No, thank you so much. I had trouble with the meeting ID, so.
It happens to all of us.
It's approved.
Well, thank you so much for acknowledging me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a great
Have a
night.
good night.
Thanks, Paul.
Michael, you wanted to bring something up?
Yeah, and I don't want to open a crazy ass can of worms or anything, but I was curious about the Black Lives Matter mural that went up on Broadway. Is that private property? Is that was there anything that had to be approved for that, or was it just done? I'm just curious about the technicality of it.
I'm not familiar with it. Whereabouts is it?
Well, it's right on Broadway. It's the entire building. There was that old gas station building, and it's right next to WKNY, the new building that they're working on, or the one that they're restoring. And now I see that there's a fence around it. It used to be like a parking lot, and the entire building is painted black, with large Black Lives Matter banner at the top and a mural on the side.
It's
And
the old gas. It's an old gas station that was then a car detailing shop, right, Michael?
Yeah, with about 500 different signs on it at the time. I'm just wondering how those things happen. I'm not passing judgment on it one way or the other. I'm just saying technically, if it's private property, I mean, can you just paint your building anything you want?
I think maybe Radio Kingston owns it now.
I think they do.
And I think that
Okay.
happened.
And I guess then it's private property if it's theirs, right?
Yes.
But in point of fact, this has come up a number of times, particularly with O Positive and Uptown murals. I do not think there's an ordinance really giving any commission sort of, any kind of governance or oversight of that kind of thing. Correct, Sue?
That is correct. With O Positive, we had invited them to a couple of our meetings to go through what their murals were going to be and the locations where they were going to place them within both historic districts and within the heritage area boundaries. And so we, as a courtesy, they were invited and they did come to us and reviewed them.
I know that the city is developing an art policy that will entail murals. It's still in development.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I was just curious as to how something that big could happen without any permits, or since we sit here and we talk about, you know, the color of a canopy that's going over a door, how someone can paint, or a group or whoever can paint an entire building black with enormous 3-foot letters. I don't know. Again, I'm not, don't even go there. I'm curious if it's, I don't even think the Broadway corridor, if it falls in any, you know, if it even falls within the range. I know WKNY came before us before with questions, but, you know, and showed us things that were very, you know, very open about it. But
The last time we had an official discussion and review of a painted building on Broadway it was a handmade sort of painted side of a building, but it was a commercial sign sort of advertising whatever the business was on the ground floor. I don't know if you were on the commission at that point, but I think that's the distinction, Michael, was that was indeed a commercial sign. This is a political statement or an artistic statement, right, Sue?
Correct. I think you're referring to Fiden's, maybe? Are you referring to Fiden's when they came in, or the eyeglass place?
No, it was a yellow sign or yellow paint.
Maybe the big lips for the sandwich place.
Right, and it was sort of crudely painted.
Okay, this is Sue. What I'll do is I will follow up, Michael, with your question with the arts administrator and find out, you know, what the process, what they're thinking about in terms of murals for the Broadway corridor and other areas of the city of Kingston, and I'll circulate what answers I get on that, what, you know, language they've used so far. Certainly, you know, if you'd like to take a look at it, I think it would be appropriate for, you know, that language to be given to the commission to review and just comment on.
Yeah, I'm just, again, I don't want to cause any trouble or, you know, I'm not taking a political side one way or the other. I'm just, it's a very, very bold, if you haven't seen it yet, Sue, maybe you'll drive home, you know, tonight and take a look. It's just a very bold statement.
I just have a question. This is Bonnie. Right, I want to say up the street on the left-hand side, there's a mural on the side of a building with a woman with windswept hair. And did that have to, if that was an O positive thing, what I'm learning, I think, from you now is that you don't have to have a permit to paint those murals, or they had to present at some, okay. Hey, shaking your head, no. So
no, they don't. I mean, that's what this sort of conversation about an arts commission having some oversight is about. But right now, no.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more complicated than that. It's not that they don't need a permit, it's that they've operated without them thus far, and they've been allowed to do so. And they're trying to work with the art director is trying to develop a policy that will encompass it so that it doesn't happen anymore. And that's as far as we've gotten.
Part of the rationale too was that they were quote unquote, part of the rationale too for not regulating it at some point was that, you know, those murals were quote unquote temporary. Some have sort of lasted beyond a temporary phase. Any other issues anybody wants to bring up?
Well, on a similar note to Mike's, I just want to make sure that since it is a historic district, the painting of the crosswalk for Pride Month, that also gets some sort of city oversight.
I think the city does grant a permit for that, right, Sue? The
City
DPW.
authorizes that, yes. Through DPW.
Anything else? All right. Remember, change your calendars for next month. The meeting is going to be 6:30, July 22nd, not the 29th. Do I hear a motion?
And I sent out
Go
the
ahead.
email, so everybody should have received it already.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn? Do I hear a motion to adjourn? Kevin McAvoy, do I hear a second?
Bonnie?
I'll call for the vote. Hayes Clement, I vote aye. Dean Barnes,
Aye.
Abigail Robin,
Aye.
Bonnie Howland,
Aye.
Michael Del Priore,
Aye.
Kevin McAvoy.
Aye.
Great. We are adjourned. We'll see you next month. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Be safe.
Okay. Bye.
This conference will now be recorded.